What is up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new video from a Russian guy giving you out the Russian news straight up to you. Now, Russia is going to be collapsing, and there's clear signs of that. And you could see it today and tomorrow. It's easy as that. Now, you might be wondering, Ivan, why are you saying so? There's a lot of YouTubers that are saying that Russia is amazing and that everything works there and that the sanctions are not working whatsoever. Well, by July 2026, $1 will cost 100 rubles, and that is what the official Russian sources actually say. So when you got $1 costing 100 rubles, you know that the economy is quite screwed up. But what amazes me the most is that the tariffs of gas will raise by 10.6% from 1st of July, and tariffs for household utilities will also raise by 11.9%. And you might be wondering, wait a minute, doesn't Russia have a huge gas resource? Well, to get that gas out and to refine it so that people will actually be able to use it, you need Western technologies because Russia does not have any of them. So there's a lot of things happening. Grocery prices are expensive. Electronics are expensive. Everything is becoming way more expensive. And the Russian salaries, which are generally on average at around $500 to $600, are not raising at all. So people are suffering from the current regime, and I think it is going to be very close when Russian citizens will have nothing to lose but go against the government. Now, as you know, Kursk region has been under control of Ukrainian forces for the past 2 months. And people from Kursk region who have been displaced out of their homes are starting to ask questions. They're starting to ask questions on what is going on, why is the government not helping them, and when is all of this going to be over? And a lot of them realize that the Russian government does not give a damn about them. So soon enough, we're going to be seeing a lot of angry people. And there's another story about that. There's concrete shelters that you could see on the image right here have been installed in Stary Oskol, Belgorod region. Authorities say they're made for people, but there's a nuance, right? Those structures, which look really strange, it's huge blocks, you know, you would think that, okay, fine, this structure is quite interesting, but if you look closer to the image, there is no roof. There is no roof in those places. You know, it's not a bunker even. It's not one of those bunkers that we've discussed on previous videos. There is no roofs. And when you're trying to save your citizens away from drone attacks or missile attacks, it comes from the top, doesn't it? It doesn't go like sideways or on the ground. You want your head to be covered. But the officials assure that such shelters will increase the chance of survival. What are they smoking? This is some clear signs of corruption, and they are doing it right in front of the eyes of the Russian citizens. And I'm pretty sure that if there's any common sense still happening inside of the Russian brains, they're going to start asking questions. How much money was given to build those shelters? Why do they even need those shelters? And what is actually going on? But I just find it crazy that they built literally this, I don't even know what to call this. It's literally just a few blocks that doesn't cover from anything. This looks more like a contraption for trying to hold off Belgorod region. And this actually probably gives us a sign that possibly Ukraine army could go over to actual Belgorod city and Stary Oskol right here. It's definitely not for the drones or missile strikes. This contraption, this construction looks more like something for combat in the area. So I'm pretty sure they're getting prepared because they are scared that the Ukrainian military is going to be going further into Russia. Now let's get into another news. Meet the president of the Cross Country Skiing Federation, Yelena Valbe. What needs to happen to Russia to be brought back the competition, not just Olympics in general, so that our athletes can participate under the flag and anthem? It seems to me that if we had thrown some serious bomb into the center of London, everything would have been over by now, and we would have been allowed everywhere. I like it when a country is strong, and probably it is precisely in our strength that the irritation of the whole world lies. So when? No need to guess. And sooner or later, of course, they will let us in. They also have nowhere to go, because they cannot last forever. Probably about a year ago I said, well, after the end of the special military operation. Now I understand that even after the special military operation, nothing will happen quickly. Oh my god, I cannot, literally, I cannot. This is crazy. Can you imagine having the president of a cross-country skiing federation? It's the person that, brings the skiers over to the Olympic Games. And she's outraged that, you can't have the Russian flag for the Russian athletes in the Olympic Games, obviously because of the war in Ukraine. But saying that the most effective method of bringing the Russian athletes with the Russian flags back into Olympic Games is by dropping a serious bomb on London. Are they out? Like, what? You know what? I don't understand this. How comes when people talk about the Russian military and they talk about sense, when they say Russian military is not doing well, it's not as powerful as was taught to all the Russian citizens and to the rest of the world, they go to prison because they criticize the Russian military. But when you have a person like Yelena, who is asking to drop a bomb on the capital of Great Britain, nothing happens to her. This is a call of terror right here. And I cannot believe that. You know what? If they do allow Russians into the Olympic Games, don't allow her to be anywhere close to them, because that person is out of her mind, and she is just one of those people working for Kremlin, pushing the propaganda over even through the athletes. Unbelievable. And she thinks that once a bomb is dropped in London, the Russian athletes will once again be able to appear at the international competitions and win. Well, I can't believe this. So, do you understand her logic? Her logic is that they hate Russians. So, if the Russians drop the bomb on London, then they will die with delight and will definitely love us. I cannot believe this crap going on in my country, because this is something out of a very sad and very bad comedian movie. Literally, what do you guys think of this? I really have no words when I find people like this. I just feel embarrassed for my country, literally, with people like this. And this is why Russia is screwed over, because you got people in high places that are, I don't know what happened to them. Maybe they got smacked in the head with a shovel or a brick that they think this way now, but this is truly unacceptable right now. Please tell me, guys, what do you think about this situation in the comment section below? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the like button to get the brand new news coming out of you from Russia, from a Russian citizen himself. And if you do enjoy car content, check out my second channel, Sanctioned Drive, in the description below. So let's get to another topic. Now, I found this really funny, because Russia and Burkina Faso signed a statement on the non-deployment of weapon in outer space. This is what I call the section of the news of the great powers. I don't think that there was any person from Burkina Faso that actually went to space or had any space programs going on, so I really doubt that they would be sending any weapons into outer space. What is this? Is this a bad comedy or what? I just cannot believe this. But anyways, let's get into a very serious topic right here. And this is what Vladimir Putin has said today. He congratulated Russians on the day of reunification of the new regions with Russia. Let's check it out. Dear friends, respected citizens of Russia, Today, September 30th, we celebrate the day of reunification with Russia of the Donetsk and Lugansk People's Republics, Zaporozhye and Kherson region. I sincerely congratulate all citizens of our country on this truly fateful event. We went through years and difficult trials. We knew in what unbearable conditions of constant shelling blockade for 8 long years Donbass lived. What oppressions the residents of Novorossiya were subjected to. They spoke out against the armed coup d'etat in Kiev, but the back of the neo-Nazi dictatorship which wanted to forever tear them away from their historical homeland, from Russia. We did not abandon our brothers and sisters. We tried to achieve a peaceful resolution of the most difficult conflict. You know how these negotiations ended, with lies, forgery, and deception on the part of the Western elites, who during this time turned Ukraine into their colony, into a military base aimed at Russia. They systematically sowed hatred and radical nationalism, incited hostility towards everything Russian, supplied weapons, sent mercenaries and advisors, prepared the Ukrainian army for a new war, in order to again, as in spring and summer of 2014, organize a punitive action in the southeast. Not only Donbass, but also Crimea and other regions were designated as targets. Oh my God, so does he not actually know what is going on? How can you join in the regions when, first of all, probably 0 people from there, well, maybe like 5, all right? There's probably some brainwashed people in that place that probably want to join in, but obviously all those people did not want to join in Russia, first of all, right? Does he not watch it? Does he not even watch his own news or what's happening? Well, you know what? On the Russian news, they probably say that, oh yeah, the whole Ukraine is captured. They're crying. But, it's crazy that he makes statements like this, saying that the Kiev wanted to turn the regions away from the historical homeland. What is the guy talking about? If you had a country, right, or any other land historically owned. Let's talk about the Roman Empire then. Italians could own like the most of the world. If you talk about this logic, this guy is out of his senses. But from what we saw, Vladimir Putin thinks that he actually outplayed everyone and started the war before anybody else could start it. I cannot believe this. And this is actually, this is being celebrated in schools right now. They're asking children to celebrate the reunification of Donetsk and Lugansk. But I thought this so-called special military operation was created to denazify and demilitarize Ukraine, not capture their land. What are they doing? What basically Vladimir Putin did, he militarized Ukraine. I'm pretty sure that Ukraine, before this war with Russia, they never had so many weapons in the country, and now they do. So whatever the Russian president says right now is a big lie, because whatever he says happens the exact opposite. But I'm just wondering, when will Vladimir Putin and Russians living in Russia will celebrate the day of reunification of Kursk Oblast? Because I just, come on. So you're celebrating the day of capturing land that nobody agrees on, no countries, not even China, not Iran, right? And you say, it's a celebration of, having them joining in. But you don't talk about the situation in Kursk and that it's Russian land right there, right, which is completely captured by Ukrainian soldiers. And you don't mention that. This guy is living out of his head right now because he has no idea what's going on inside of his country. And I sometimes have this theory in my head that I doubt that he uses the internet or phones. I'm pretty sure people bring papers over to his desk. And I'm 50% sure that the guy has no clue on what's going on, because the people who bring them the papers, they probably change some writing in them, to make sure that it all sounds good and that Russia is progressing and stuff like that, so that they wouldn't be sent over to a gulag camp, right? So he actually thinks that everything is going well. Or he knows the reality, but he is completely out of his head. And, a lot of people might be asking, why do I think that Russia will fall? And that this is the end of Russia right here. We're seeing the end, not of Russia, but the end of this dictatorship in Russia right now. Because there's only two ways of this. The end, right? So the first one, Ukraine is never going to give up fighting for their land, for their democracy, right? They never will. And that's right, because you got another country attacking your home and you want to defend that home. And I completely agree with it. So they're never, ever going to give up on it. And if Vladimir Putin loses, and he will, that's the end of him. Because the Russian citizens are then going to be asking a question. I hope anyways, So what was the point of all of this? You wasted so many human lives. Hundreds and thousands of people died for a meaningless war that makes absolutely zero sense. And they will just go up. And I think people will get angry and they will just storm the Kremlin and get rid of him. That's option number one. The second option is that if he does try to step away, there's still going to be very angry people at him, and they're going to be trying to find him. So there's only two ways, and none of them he can take, and none of them will be achieved. So this is the end. The Russian president has got himself backed into a corner, and any dictatorship ends. It ends no matter what. And this president has been the president of my country since I was born. 25 years. I've never seen another president in my country. Not talking about Dmitry Medvedev, because it's the exact same thing. But yeah, that's it. It's over. It's economically collapsing right now, slowly and surely. The interest rates for mortgages are at 25%. The US dollar is going to be 100 rubles per dollar, which I'm pretty sure is going to be more because it's at like 91 right now. So, yes, Russia is at its last points, and I really hope that this whole regime crumbles and Russia can really become a democratic country. And I really hope that somebody will revert the Constitution and make sure that, first of all, nobody can change the Constitution, and second of all, that a president cannot be a president for more than 2 terms in a row, right? Or one. One would be better, One would probably be better, but let's be realistic too. Then Russia will start becoming a more democratic country. That's when people are going to be fighting to get into a presidential seat. They're going to be trying their best to make the country great again. They're going to be trying their best to bring up the economy so that they would be elected once again. And I really hope that it happens one day. Thank you very much for watching this video, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please click the like button and the subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time. Stay safe out there.